Meteorologist Eric Burris here for Coffee Talk on a Friday morning. It is May the 20th, and it is about to be a stormy setup. The top two things we are watching right off the top is a whole lot of moisture moving our direction. It is about to get wet. Mow the yard, jump in the swimming pool, do what you gotta do because we're tracking a lot of rain. And it's not even just going to be for today. We'll watch how that rain plays into our weekend forecast as well. Rise and shine, my friends. You have made it to Friday. Thank you so much for hanging with us here on Coffee Talk. We get together every day, 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather. We wake up together. We sip our coffee together. All that fun stuff. I'm not at my brother's house today because I forgot my laptop, my personal computer, in the weather lab yesterday. So I had to go home to do Coffee Talk, and then I'm going to go visit the old man in just a little bit. At least it's nice this morning. Here's a shot in Brevard County. Lots of clouds over top, but it is still a nice sunrise, though the clouds are kind of starting to take over, aren't they, right? Let's talk temperatures out the door. It is warm. 77 degrees in Orlando. It is 72 in Claremont. 76 degrees in DeLand. 73 up into Palm Coast. Not really watching fog this morning, and that's for good measure. That's for good reason, because our first warning live Doppler radar is turning active. Not necessarily in the metro, but let me take you just south of town. There are some heavy pockets of rain, and if I lapse this, you can kind of see that axis of rain working right for I-4, working right for the tourist district. My friends, it's about to get wet, and that extends all the way over here toward Tampa. If I switch over to the Tampa radar, you can kind of get a better idea of how much stormy weather is off the shoreline there from Boca Ciega back over toward the Sunshine Skyway, Sarasota, Brandon, Bradenton. So lots of rain marching north, and that means lots of rain marching in our direction, right? Wide perspective, and you can see that batch of rain. There's a bigger swath of rain south. This is just kind of the start of all this tropical moisture. So look at the forecast this morning. Yeah, we're going to go with some rain chances. But look at this afternoon as more of that moisture funnels into our area, and then we add in daytime heating. We've got the perfect scenario for ample showers and thunder showers. 85, 11 o'clock, 88 degrees, 1 o'clock, 90 degrees, our high temperature on the day. And then those showers and thunder showers really start to work in. Temperatures are not going to be as big of a focal point in our forecast today. The rain coverage absolutely is going to be the bigger part. Frank, good morning to you. Nancy, Alan, good morning, good morning. Alan's asking about the Saharan dust. We'll look at that certainly in a couple of moments' time. Don says Ocala, little fog or haze. Could be up that way, but, you know, it's about to be replaced with rain. Jeannie says that's moving north. It is indeed. It is indeed. Dark here in St. Pete, my brother says, giddy up. Yeah, no surprise there. So let's just review temperatures, and then let's get right over to Futurecast, okay? Here we are, 90 degrees in Orlando. Average high is 89. So these rains, these clouds, they're kind of keeping us in check a little bit. 93 our high temperature in Leesburg, 94 our high temperature in the Villages. But of course, we come over to Futurecast. This is 10 o'clock this morning. Still tracking some of those rains around this morning, but overall the picture of those rains kind of quiets down. And let me just pause and let's just see if Futurecast is initializing that properly, okay? Yeah, I mean, it does look like those rains are weakening as they lift to the north. So that, to me, checks out Futurecast's prognostication. All right, so by lunchtime, 1 o'clock, we've got a couple of isolated showers, maybe a few thunder showers around. Let me bring it full screen so you've got the best view possible. After that, 4, 5, 6. We get another influx of moisture combining with the daytime heating. Let's just pause this. Let's start at 6 o'clock. Scattered showers, even a few thunder showers in our southern areas. Watch 7 o'clock. Heavy downpours. 8 o'clock. Heavy downpours. You got the yellows. You got the reds. There's those vibrant colors, my friends. It's going to be a stormy day. Absolutely. I have a feeling today when we see each other, let's just go back to 3:30. Yeah. When I see you for the afternoon coffee talk, I think things will just be starting to get going. So we'll probably be tracking a little bit, but it's not really active until about 4:30, 5 o'clock. That's when things start getting going. So my hope is that I'll be able to get the kids into the backyard swimming pool later today. I wouldn't mind that. And then the storms can arrive, and then we can all just kind of sleep with the rains around, right? 7, 8. Let's look at 9 o'clock. Still with the rains. Overnight, notice the intensity is coming down. 11 o'clock, less oranges and reds, more green, right? So the intensity is coming down just a little bit. Michelle says we seriously need the rain. Yeah, 100% we do. Gina's asking, just rain, Eric, or tornado weather? The problem with Florida in general, Florida's going to Florida, right? I would say every time you get these convective scenarios playing out, which is every day during the summer, you do run the risk of getting those showers and thunder showers, getting strong, severe, isolated tornado threat. But overall, I do not think that threat is all that high. I do instead see that threat as being just rain, showers, thunder showers, that sort of thing, right? All right, and then overnight tonight, late evening plans, still with the rain. Look what happens by 4:35 a.m. When I see it tomorrow morning for West 2 New sunrise, oh joy, I'll be busy tracking another little wave of heavier rainfall, right? Oh, that's so fun. That's so fun. And then as that kind of moves out, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, it looks like we're going to be quieting down a little bit. Late morning Saturday, and then into Saturday afternoon. Look at that. Yet another round of very heavy rain. There's 3:30 Saturday, 4, continuing through the afternoon. Saturday afternoon looks to be pretty active, right? 6 p.m., showers, thunder showers, widespread through central Florida. Lots of very heavy rainfall, right? 7 o'clock, moving east. For now, by the way, my friends that are heading out to Welcome to Rockville up in Daytona, at least it looks like the majority of the activity will be south. But that said, can't rule out that activity kind of continuing up to the north. So, we've known that we're probably rock starring into our rainy season here, like right now, right? Like that's been the expectation these last couple of days. It's a little early. A reminder that the rainy season doesn't typically start until May 27th. But here we are looking at showers and storms firing up. Tomorrow, periods of rain, periods of clouds. And then by Sunday, our afternoon storms yet again fire up. Josh is asking, will today's storms produce tornadoes in Central Florida? Already explained that, but I will again. When we look at weather patterns and things in Florida, when you get these super fiery storms, when they just explode out of nowhere, you always run the risk of getting something to be on the stronger side, right? But when you look at the severe risks for today, it's not laid out as being tornado weather, damaging wind weather, or hail weather. That's the good news, okay? But that said, the same can't be said for heavy downpours. The flooding threat, my friends, is in the lower end. We're watching. In other words, we think that it's going to be a pretty wet day. We think that it's going to be a pretty wet couple of days. There's the potential, to see flooding, especially in low-lying areas. That includes not just today, but that includes tomorrow. As a matter of fact, if we were to look at our rain chances these next couple of days, take a look. 70, 80% coverage. Sunday, 60% coverage. So we are absolutely firing off the rainy season, or at least seemingly firing off the rainy season. Right in time for a weekend, right? Now, remember, this is an inevitability, right? I know it's the weekend and we want good weather for the weekend, but we're entering into our summertime pattern. So upper 80s, lower 90s, at least these rains are helping to keep the temperatures in check. Now, I know there's a lot of events in Central Florida, so let's talk about it. First off, you've got Welcome to Rockville at the Daytona Speedway. Showers and thunder showers, especially this afternoon. Tomorrow, showers and thunder showers. Sunday, showers and thunder showers. I just hope you could jam in the rain, right? Hopefully there's not too much lightning. That's where we get into the concerns. That's what we don't want. Now, same thing holds true for Monster Jam. I know I'm not that guy, Monster Jam, that says it crazy. Monster Jam. Okay? Saturday. It does look like as gates open, there will be some storms around, and that's going to linger right through the beginning of the show. Do we have stormy weather during the show? That's where we're going to have to see, right? But there's definitely a lot of stormy weather in the forecast. If we were to look at the rain chances, we know that it's 70, 80%. If we look at the computer models, one moment. If we look at, stand by and I'll pull this up. I got to find it. If we look at the computer models, how much rain do they say? The European and the GFS, these are the two kind of most reliable global models, okay? Through Sunday, is that right? Is this, I feel like this is for Cocta. Yeah. Oh, okay, I see what we did here. Okay, got it. Okay. Through Sunday, you're talking, you see the darker greens, right? You see the yellows. Darker green is 1 to 2 inches. Yellow is 2 to 3 inches. So we're talking in many Central Florida locations on the two models, the two, most reliable global models, you're talking widespread 1 to 2 inches with pockets of 2 to 3 inches. Now, thankfully, there's not much in that 3 to 5 category, but that would be pretty good flooding rains. But you get the idea. The models are definitely going with some wet weather these next several days. Elizabeth, thank you very much. Pat, enjoy the weather while sun shines. We know it's wet when it's wet. Yeah. Jeannie says we have the ingredients for rain tacos. Huh? Shauna says 5-finger death punch rocked. Wow. Oh, very cool. Beth, antique flea market downtown Orlando Saturday night. This is the part where everybody asks about their city and their individual spot. Saturday night. Here's Saturday night. Here's 6 o'clock Saturday night. It's going to rain. It's going to rain today. It's going to rain tomorrow. Yeah. That's just where we're at. Insert city name here is going to get wet the next couple of days. Yeah. Sorry. Ryan says, got to hit the pool before the rain. That's true. That's true. So that's Saturday. Let's go to today. 7 o'clock today. Yup. Jennifer says, not looking good for our graduation party tonight. I'm sorry. Thomas says, on Sunday, Local 10 News in Miami is doing a hurricane special. Ours airs June 1st. I need to work on it, actually. But yeah, June 1st. I'm delivering a wedding cake at 2 p.m. today in the Ormond area. Yeah, there's going to be some showers around Ormond, up through with Flagler County area. Yep. I hope it makes it to Satellite Beach. We have that umbrella over us. Everybody says that all the time, right? It seems like it here recently. Vivid, good morning. How are ya? Champagne, good morning. Good morning. I'll take the rain over snow any day. Now, that's true. That's true. I'm the same way. Yeah, I'm very much the same way. So what is the wet season? Okay, let's talk a little bit about it. The wet season typically starts late May. It has started as early as early May back in 1966, and it has started as late as July back in 98. I can tell you that. That 98, I remember it like it was yesterday. The lakes were all down. It was just crummy. What we look for the wet season is essentially cold front stop, check. Daily sea breeze showers and storms begin, check. And morning low temperatures and dew points consistently sit in the upper 60s and lower 70s. Check. Let's just look at our 7-day forecast to ensure there's no cool air coming. Morning lows are in the upper 60s, lower 70s, and daily showers and thunder showers fire up. Let's take a look together, shall we? Yep, it kind of looks like it to me. 90s, upper 80s for high temperatures, morning lows in the 70s. Rain chances 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%. Yep. Looks like it's the case. Looks like it's the case. I'll take it. All right, real fast. The tropics, we are not in hurricane season yet, of course, but do want to take a look and see what's doing out there. Thankfully, for right now, the National Hurricane Center continues to say there is no tropical weather expected to develop over the next 5 days' time. So, yeah, we are still nice and quiet. But what about the models, right? They have been toying around with it. We've talked a lot about how the GFS has this desire since its upgrade. It's had this desire at vorticity. Every little spin, it's tried to spin something up. Let's just see. I haven't looked at this morning's model runs. Let's just look together and see. If it's still trying to develop anything. What are you doing, Caribbean? Of course it is, because it's the GFS. 968 low. Boy, this GFS is just terrible. Okay, GFS. A 969 low. Okay, so the GFS is continuing to just be completely bonkers. Starts developing something around hour 300. It has never moved it inside of the 200-hour mark. And when I say that, what I mean is when the model initializes, for example, this top left part of your screen, you can see it initialized at 6Z, okay? So if the model initializes at 6Z, you go out ahead of time hours. So for example, what we're looking at is 8, you can see in the top right corner of your screen. I'll bring it full screen for you. Valid. So this is hour 324 of the model. Valid 18Z. Thursday, June 2nd. So from its initialization to where it's valid, this is hour 324 of the model. It has tried to develop something tropically outside of hour, in the high 200, 300 hour range for weeks now. Jeannie says, oh, never say never. I mean, it keeps developing something around hour 300, and then every model run, it just keeps pushing it further and further and further out. Computer models are guidance, not gospel, but experience tells me that is not going to happen. You know how I know? Because it hasn't been happening, right? Like, if you had trusted it a week or two ago, we'd be dealing with a Cat 5 hurricane over Florida right now. Good gravy. Let's look at the European. I do want to take a look and see. Remember that the 6Z European only goes out 90 hours, so we have to go back to the 12Z Euro, and that still only goes out 240 hours. But we could at least push toward that, and then we could switch over to the ensemble, and it'll take us out further. See if the Euro's sniffing anything. A little bit of moisture, a little bit of an area of low pressure along a dying front here around the 28th of May. Now, it does, interestingly enough, I don't know if you'll see this, bottom left corner, you see that right there? The Pacific is in their hurricane season, and it is trying to show something there, the European is. I'm curious, let's look at the GFS. Does the GFS pick up on that? It does-ish, yeah. All right, so back to the European, 0Z. Let me scroll this back down so that you can see it. So there's that. And that's 240 hours out. So I can extend this by looking at the European ensemble control, and it'll take us out even further. And let's just see. European trying to deepen something out here around June 1st. Interesting. Out here. Now, this is particularly interesting. Okay. I've got to nerd out for a second here. I have not seen this model yet, okay? So the European is saying that in the Western Gulf around June 4, again, you're talking 360 hours out, but it's trying to sniff out lowering pressures in the Western Gulf on June 4th. Let's take a look at some of the LRC stuff. You know where I'm going with this. Interesting. The November 27th repeat. I'm not saying it's going to develop in anything tropical, but the LRC pattern favors early to mid-June in that Texas-Louisiana area. And that's early June. Sabirs is asking, what's the BSR show? You know, I haven't even looked. Let's take a look, shall we? This is why I love you guys and gals. Because you always, every time that we start talking about stuff, you help drive me. Like I'm half asleep, so I wouldn't have even thought. So that's, what is that? That's June 4th. So that's May 18th on the BSR. All right, give me a second. North Pacific surface analysis, May 18th. Stand by. All right. Yeah, I mean it's got around Texas there, but it also has something around Florida there. It's kind of got some moisture over Florida, interestingly enough, but it's not a deep low. Let's switch from that. Let's switch to the 500 height. Stand by. Interesting that that's showing more of a... Oh, but you know my map is off. I'm going to have to redraw. I'm not going to have time to do it, but my overlay, I can tell you right off the bat, my overlay is not correct. How did that get moved around? Don't trust the BSR. That overlay is not correct. That's so weird. All right. We'll have to revisit that later. Yeah, we'll have to revisit that later. I don't know why the overlay is incorrect, but the overlay is incorrect. At any rate, though, the European ensemble showing that. What is the GFS ensemble showing? It's probably completely out to lunch. Yeah. Anyway, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Yeah. Early to mid-June, Texas, Louisiana area. We'll have to watch and see how that plays out. I will definitely be texting Jeremy Nelson, though, today to point that out. Very interesting. Chris, so it's going to rain. It's going to rain. Yes, sir. It is going to rain. Owen says the CAG extends to both basins, right? Could that Euro run be seeing what the GFS sees and it's placing the low in the Eastern Pacific? Yeah, which is what it should do. It's going to kind of roll across the Central American coastline and then work into the Pacific. Sometimes it kind of gets caught on a front, and you know the GFS isn't wild for it, but yeah, that the European solution absolutely makes a little bit more sense. Yeah. Let's see here. Let It Rain today. I got back-to-back craft shows this weekend. There you go. Can you believe it's been 36 years since Top Gun? Boy, that's wild, right? That's wild. Why is the GFS so squirrely and out of sync with the Euro? Well, they're two totally different models, for one. But for two, they get upgrades. And I'm kind of a little worried that this upgrade on the GFS is a little vorticity trigger happy. A little, it's like almost like the Canadian. The Canadian model, I feel like you blow wind against the wind. You know, you sneeze against the wind, and the Canadian model's gonna be like, "Bop, bop, I found you." Bop. You ever see, what was that movie? Is it Four Christmases? Where they're playing, can't say cat, can't say dog, can't say, it's like that's the model. It's like, oh, I got something there. I got something there. You know? So, interesting. It's interesting. But here we are. We've got a couple of days left of May to track things. But looking to June, that June tropical calendar, my friends, already, it's crazy. I was not expecting it yet. But already the Euro ensembles are sniffing this right in here. Whether or not it comes to fruition, we'll wait and see. For us, I could tell you that 24th, 25th, 26th, that is something we're going to need to watch very, very closely. Late June, okay? Just after Father's Day weekend, that following weekend, we're going to need to watch. We're going to need to watch. Yeah, Bruce, exactly. Late to the game today. When are we expecting the rain in Castleberry? Shannon's asking. This afternoon. Just rewind. I talked a ton about it. Just rewind Coffee Talk, and you'll get plenty of Futurecast. But here's what I can tell you, friends. It is going to be a wet, stormy afternoon. And that pattern will continue looking ahead to tomorrow. Sure looks to me like the rainy season is starting, huh? I'll take it. No big deal. No big deal. 90 degrees our high temperature today. 70% coverage of showers and storms. We're going to stay wet for your Saturday. A little less stormy for Sunday. But all intents and purposes, each day will feature a decent opportunity for showers and thunder showers. To our first warning live Doppler radar we go. Before we wrap things up, I just want to point out that line of heavy rain now marching up into the tourist district. Walt Disney World, my friends. It is going to be pouring shortly. Anna says already started here in Poinciana. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, good heavy rains for you, too. You're kind of in the worst of the weather right now. Next up, Celebration, Kissimmee, Campbell, up through Citrus Ridge, the Four Corners, and then the Walt Disney World won't be far off. All of this tropical moisture lifting up to the north. As a matter of fact, stand by. I'll get this. Hold on a second. Oh, wow. Do I see a severe thunderstorm warning? Well, I guess I'll hang here for a little bit because we have a severe thunderstorm warning. Okay. Now I have to go into full-on weather coverage mode. Hold on one second. Severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Orange and Osceola counties. That is in effect until 9:30 this morning. Look at the reasoning, okay? This cell is now producing winds running 60 or so miles an hour, and hail is definitely as well a possibility, okay? Doppler radar, and we were just looking at this. Vault, hold on a second. I need to switch our radars mode. So where is this severe thunderstorm now? Before I tool around with the radar. Poinciana, St. Cloud, Campbell, you can see the very heavy rains marching your direction. Let me put a track on this, okay? And then I will switch the radar around. Give me 2 seconds here. Okay? It's moving north at about 30 miles an hour. Radars indicated all of that wind. So let's put a track on this at 30 miles an hour, and then I'm going to switch our radars mode. All right, so when does it arrive in your neighborhood? Let's just take a look. Campbell, 8:31, next couple of minutes, into Kissimmee at 8:40, into the Disney World complex at 8:49. Meadow Woods at 8:57, Oak Ridge at 9:01, and 9:08 into Pine Castle. We are tracking this severe thunderstorm as it lifts to the north. All right? All right, that said, give me 2 seconds. Do some housekeeping stuff here. Yeah, I'm aware. All right, file, open. I'm going to load our severe. I'm going to load up. I'm changing our radar's pulse repetition frequency around, just making a couple of changes. Give me 2 seconds. My apologies. Okay, live radar sweeping through. All right, perfect. Perfect. All right, higher PRF gives us better data. All right, we are in our low-end severe weather mode on our live radar. So let me do this, people. I'm going to stop this down, and I'm going to start up a new severe thunderstorm warning Facebook broadcast. So stay tuned, okay? Just so that I can restart things just a little bit here. All right, give me a couple of seconds. I will be right